How about we unmute and see if that makes a difference? Wait, hold on. Okay. Holy shit. Wait, hold on though. Now what? We got it. 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 Test these. Very quiet. Okay, we're doing this. We're figuring this out. Very quiet. Welcome to the Black Tower live stream from Wotcon, where we spend the entire time figuring out our audio issues. That sounds like it's good.
That's all. That's volume all the way up.
That sounds like it's good, Rand. Do you have a long handle on your axe? Maybe just get very close to the mic, Rand. You know, the bubbles of evil happen here more than other places because we have the taint of Shaitan. I'm going to just do this the whole time. Just breathe and I'll be all creepy and shit.
Just breathe.
Just creepy breathe, creepy breathe.
Y'all, it's hot. I'm sweaty. I'm sticky.
It is. It is hot. He is sweaty. He is sticky. It's kind of
sticky sweet.
It's sticky
From
sweet.
my head.
You like candy, baby. Your heart
I am very,
sweet and
very
sticky.
Moist.
Okay.
Everyone else is
Hey.
moist.
Welcome to Wotcon. Welcome to live stream Wotcon. Guess what? Most people are doing the sing-along party right now, but not you. You're dedicated. You're here. And not them. They're dedicated. They're here. Virtual round of applause for our 3 die-hard fans. Actually, 4. One is off procuring tainted beverages.
Yeah,
You guys are on camera, by the way. This is live. Yeah. So you can wave, say hi. Moist is a word that should always be used for mic checks. Thank you, Rapunzel. That is something we will use going forward.
Check 1 2 moist. 1 2 moist.
Oh, it's so moist. Why is it so moist?
Yeah.
You're
Books immersed. Look
Taint.
there. There's Jordan.
What is up,
Soundscape.
Jordan? Oh.
Long-awaited
Okay, look,
soundscape.
Jordan, I know you hate it when we do this, and I'm sorry, but I'm going to do it because something very important happened today. The Kickstarter for the Soundscapes of Time is live.
Yep.
Yes. And if you don't know what the Soundscapes of Time is,
Fix yourself.
Jordan Reynolds is a composer and audio engineer. And he did an audiobook companion for Lord of the Rings. And it is immersive entirely. So when it says, a horse plodded along the street, you hear horse hooves. Right? It's great. Yes, the coconut. And it did not throw me. You did a great job. Hey, MK, what's up? But he is endeavoring
in tall guy heights.
to do the soundscapes for the book series for the Wheel of Time. So the way this would work is you would push play on the audiobook and push play on his soundscape at the same time, and you'd get to hear the effects of the different things as the books are progressing. The way that Jordan said it that I absolutely love was a movie for your ears.
I think he also said he knows a way or has a guide maybe where you could blend the audio files together so that you don't have to time them together. Don't quote me on it. Quote Jordan on that. If he says yes, you can do that.
Beth,
but
more shy.
That's what I do. I'm lazy, and I love the voices of the audiobooks. Kate and Michael are amazing, and Rosamund is amazing as well. Which he's doing the soundscape for the Michael and Kate version of the audiobooks. But he probably can adapt it in the future for the Rosamund Pike version. But I try to take and listen to the audiobooks, and I can't really just listen to it because I don't pay enough attention. So I'll try to follow along, but I read faster than they read the audiobook, so I get frustrated and then just turn the audiobooks off. But with the soundscape, I think I can actually just listen to it and relax. So,
okay. When we said go get a bourbon,
Oh, you know what else? I might
That's
be
a
able to do.
penis.
You got. You ready for this? I think I got it. No, don't stop extra cameras. I want more extra camera. No, don't do that.
That is nice. Artfully aged by the James B. Beam Distill. Oh, so this is the James Beam. Oh, okay. That is a very fancy bottle. I like it. I like it already. I don't know what's going on with the tech setup, but bubbles of evil, taint, blah blah blah. Things are happening. Things are happening.
We're back. We're back.
Are we?
We're back.
Did we leave?
Well, I was trying to get because I got my phone connected to the Wi-Fi,
Mhm.
and so I was trying to do. Apparently, I can only present one extra camera, and it won't let me do another. But if I was going to do my phone, I was going to get my phone and run out and show everybody the lobby.
Oh. I mean, you could always turn this one off to do the phone.
I mean, that's what I think I'm going to try and do.
Yeah, give it a shot.
But we're going to see.
Yep. So he did confirm. Jordan did confirm. Rosamund will come later. Link if anyone's interested. You can sync them up for a combined version with the audiobooks. MK said, I haven't listened to the Rosamund Pike versions. Kate and Michael are hard to move away from, and Jordan agrees, and I agree as well. Rapunzel alternates between both versions now. And MK is afraid to try new things.
It's, you know what?
Be not afraid, my child. Try the new things. I'm looking like straight there because I'm used to looking straight at the computer. You're my webcam now, just so you know. So we're going to just maintain prolonged eye contact.
Why won't this work? Yes. Come on.
Thanks, Howard.
Come on.
You're the man.
Connect me. Connect me. Oh, yeah. You guys ready for this? This is going to be great. Okay, here we go. All right, so I did stop the
That is good.
second.
Maybe do the little shimmy.
I did stop the second thing. Okay, check this out. You guys ready for this? We're gonna get a. Okay, so I don't know if they're gonna get audio here. So what I want you to do, Andrew, is I want you to watch the camera here and give them a play-by-play of what the virtual audience is seeing. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. So here's where we go. We're adding. Okay. Here we go.
Just so you know, it's kind of choppy. Yeah, I'll go slow. Yeah. So that was Josh showing you Matt Hatch and Tree as he walked out of the room. And here he is walking out of the room further into the lobby. I think there's a way I can full screen. There we go. So this is the atrium where they're doing the full sing-along hosted by Talkaron Riyadh. Just singing their hearts out like a bunch of lushes at a bar. I mean, some of them may be. You never know. Far be it from me to call somebody a lush. So, but you got people just hanging out and watching. You got people fanning themselves with fancy fans they got from Querencia, who is handling all the Wotcon merch and doing a fantastic, fabulous job at it. Plenty of cells of people just hanging out, talking, chatting, running their mouth, jabbering, if you will. And then plenty of other people just listening and enjoying the music. I don't know what song they're singing. I can't hear it from in here. Normally we can, and I can't know what most songs are anyway because I'm bad at that kind of stuff. So they did just finish Piano Man. And this is Josh's camera kind of freezing and going pixelated. That must have been censored by, I'm not going to say who. And now he's coming back in the room. And now he's showing Andrew, the real talent of the Black Tower. He just showed the back of my head. I actually did just cut this. Now everybody needs therapy.
All
I just saw it
right.
again on my phone. That was terrible.
Hey, look at that. So what did you guys think about the virtual tour of Wotcon?
Tree, MK says hi. Tree says hi. MK.
Yeah, MK's she's in the chat. All right, now let's get our lovely audience back up here on the screen. There we go.
There are
Again,
samples with
wine.
Michael on the Kickstarter.
Oh yes. Oh, so yeah, the Kickstarter. Before I got distracted with the new thing, I figured out how to do.
MK, yes, Dana Lou is here.
We're gonna put the link. Yeah,
She is.
Dana Lou's all
Dana Lou's
over
here.
the place, man. We're gonna put the link for the
Uh,
Kickstarter in the chat. That's what we need to do.
Matt
That's-
Jordan, Soundscape Time says you have to listen to the soundscape.
the
the
soundscape.
soundscape.
If you're still around, we've got a sample that you need to listen to.
Yeah. At least sometime this weekend. Do you know what we mean? So he already did one for the entirety of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So like when you're listening to the audiobook and they're talking about like how a horse galloped by, you'll actually hear the sound of a horse galloping by, and it's actually left-right audio because he's a legit sound engineer. It's really good. So we'll have to play you he let us listen to his first draft of the scene of Rand on Dragonmount, and it is so
It's stunning.
different,
It's
impactful
stunning.
than it is just listening to the words. It's really cool. We'll have to let you listen to it.
And the exciting thing is that he just released his Kickstarter today.
Yep.
So it went there, and I'm putting. Oh God! Oh, stop with the audio. There it is. The link is now in the chat. It's right there. Bam! Everybody, go to it right now and look at it and see Jordan's awesomeness. But you know what? Maybe we shouldn't talk about Soundscapes of Time all night tonight.
I mean, we don't have to.
Should
you
we
want to sit
though?
down and join us? You don't have to.
I mean, there we go. There you go.
What's up?
I haven't gotten around to translating innkeeper. Wait a minute. How many of you had?
To the other side.
We were told not to let you have too many. So how many Coke Zeros have you?
I've had about 5 or 6.
Okay.
today.
You know what?
I don't know what too many is. I mean, maybe 7. Maybe 7.
I haven't yet translated innkeeper into the old tongue,
Okay.
but I feel like if we had like an inn or tavern, you could be like the tavern Mahale or the inn Mahale.
The in-mail. I like that. I do wonder what innkeeper is in the old tongue.
Right?
That's
No.
a good question.
That was even on the old tongue
Are they
panel
doing-
earlier. You'd think that.
Oh, that
would
was
know.
today, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was about to say, aren't they doing one of those? And
I
then-
need to know. Yeah,
Sure
yeah, they
did.
do that today already.
It's
Yeah,
too
yeah.
bad. I'm not going to be able to handle that.
I'll just put it there because that was put over
It's
there.
that one you can have.
I feel like that's a terrible idea.
I'm going to drink a White Russian instead.
I cannot handle the bourbon. I will do an entire white Russian instead. Fair enough.
So what are we doing this night? Gentlemen.
That's pretty much it.
This is
No,
it?
This is
Yeah.
Black Tower. We just
We-
say we're going to go live and record an episode.
Nice.
Because we didn't do one this week, so this is it.
That's true. This is the episode for the week.
Yeah,
I
what
do
we just
have a
So for those
list.
of you that don't know, Matt serves as the master of ceremonies for Wotcon.
Yes.
That's true. We
I
are
do.
we are honored.
So he's all super in the know of the secret things that are happening at Wotcon.
I mean, what's interesting is I don't know that I am because especially because have been out for the last 7 months.
Yeah.
So I feel like I just showed up. I was like, I'm coming. So people will come up and ask me things about Wotcon, and I'm like, I don't run it. I don't know
Well-
if you've ever seen Master of Ceremonies. I'm just the face.
Well, let me get your take on this because
Okay.
I do have something that we kind of wanted to talk about, but we didn't have a full-fledged format for it. But with you
Okay.
here, I think this might be kind of fun.
Okay.
You know what, that
So
bourbon is full fledged. I guarantee you.
we know that the Horn of Valir
Okay.
is just some sort of strange thing, right?
Right.
It's like outside of all the rules.
It's an interesting. That's a good question.
Well, because even in the Age of Legends, they were like, "What the heck is this thing? We don't know, but it does this."
It's like one of the couple things
Yes.
they refer to.
It's
as
the
bar
where
stuff.
this came from kind of question.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we have. I thought we had something where that we know that it showed up in the beginning of the Second Age. I thought for sure, but I'd have to go back. Now you're making me question. I haven't done like a deep dive in the Horn of Valir in a while.
Well,
because it's pretty rare. Like there's only a handful of things they refer to as an artifact. 'Cause
It's like portal stones. They're
Yeah,
kind of in
yeah.
that same vein.
which I kind of
yeah.
love is like a blanket term. They're like, it's kind of magical, maybe not. We're not exactly sure. We don't know who made it. Artifact. We're gonna go with
It
that.
exists.
Artifacts.
Or as MK so eloquently put in the chat, it's a thing.
It's a thing.
It do be a thing.
So
Yeah.
By my aged grandmother, it do be a thing.
So then the next question becomes, because we've got the Horn of Valir, which is it's a thing.
Yeah.
But what did we learn about the horn like at the end of book 2 is that in order for Rand to sort of command the charge, he needed the banner, the dragon banner. So
Okay.
is the dragon banner itself a Tirangreal tied to the use of the horn? What's the rule there?
What I would take from this is that it's Jordan gave it like he wanted to make it more complicated to be able to use this thing. And so it's a complication that he added to make sure that it wasn't too easy for it to be misused. You know? So I would say I would go with banner, not Terran-Grail. That's what I would say. But I like the theory of it being a Terran-Grail. What would it do? What is its use of the one power? Like what is the banner doing as a
Well,
Terran-Grail?
see that would be the question, right? Because but then what is the link between the heroes needing the banner to receive the
So
command?
I think it's like a precept, kind of like you have with Guido Kane saying, was it Guido Kane or Brigitte? They're like, we can't break the precepts.
right.
I wonder if one of the precepts of the heroes answering the horn,
Okay.
like that's rules they have to follow or they're supposed to follow, which is like we aren't allowed. It's our precept. We aren't allowed to just follow anyone with the horn.
okay.
You have to show some credentials. And so the banner is a credential showing event for
Okay.
so that's one. Yeah, go for it.
Yep, we got. That's one of the things about it. You guys should really come
And
to Wotcon because this is one of the things about the live stream is you get to participate in the show.
on the live stream, one thing is, it was interesting they were both concealed together so
True.
that they could both be used. However, the banner can't be connected to the use of the horn because in the last battle, it wasn't there.
Right.
It was the sign of the banner up in the sky that allowed them to use it.
Yeah. So are
I
they
don't-
tied together? Maybe.
Here, I'm in the camp that it is a Terran-Grial, but not in a. The two aren't required to be in use together. But I think the banner has no effect if the horn isn't used. But if the horn is used by somebody else in the forces of the light, because we know from the second time the heroes are summoned with the horn that they have the free will. They can pretty much choose to just say, "Yeah, I'm just not picking up the phone this time, or I'm not working for you." And that's where the whole like, oh, the shadow can't use the horn. It's not because they physically can't. It's because the heroes or stalwarts are like, no, you're the bad guys. We're not. No, thank you. So I think that maybe during the end of Age of Legends, I swear if you lower my microphone, lower it a little bit. Oh, that's a fair,
just realized
fair
that.
reason. So,
Matt just
but I think they made it as a Terran-Grial so that even if somebody with a different plan than the dragon was trying to use the horn, but the dragon banner came up, it would kind of.
Oh,
oh
Oh.
yeah.
No, because
actually,
you,
no,
you see this happen
because
this
she's
happens
got
at
to this
Falma.
part in the book. She
This
just,
happens in Falma when the
if
dragon
we go
banner.
to Falma.
Yeah,
if we
you're
go to
good.
Falma.
When the
Good.
dragon banner overrides the control that the horn sounder has over the heroes of the horn,
which is all discussed in the end of book 2.
I think that is the sole purpose of this. Is that honestly, I think it's a part of the same Aes Sedai that created the Eye of the World in Eye of the World. Well, obviously earlier than that, but that it was part of their same plan, and that's why we find them in the books in the same spot in the Eye of the World. Was that even if somebody else from the light tries to use the horn to do what they want to do, if the dragon, this all important potential savior or destroyer of the world, is doing something else and needs those forces, he can raise this banner that is a Terran Grial that overrides the control of the horn. Because these are folks that are going to be studying these artifacts. If they had the horn, which presumably they did, they would have been studying how to work with it. We already know that they had the mechanisms to create artificial souls to create like constructs and stuff.
Right.
So I think that the banner as a Terran Grial is a product of that study, so that the dragon soul will always have precedence over it, because presumably his mission is make or break for the world, where it could just be, Sally Sedai, which should definitely be a Sedai. There should be a Sally Sedai that just blew the horn because, they're fighting a battle and want it, but the dragon needs it more.
So you think that the banner is it's another artifact that is paired somehow with it for heroes to be cognizant of its existence. Yeah, it's like I want to be careful. I think we can talk about concepts here that don't ruin anything. But yeah, so they would be aware of its existence. To be aware of its existence, they would have to be somehow tied together. It's interesting. The horn is an anomaly.
Yeah.
But, it kind of breaks some of Robert. It's that soft magic part of what he's done, right? Like it doesn't really follow like the rules like other things do. And
You can tell it's a thing because it is the way it is.
well, but to me, this is like an early concept thing.
Mhm.
So Jordan didn't solidify a lot of his metaphysics until like book 3, 4,
Yeah.
And so it feels like one of those like book 1 Jordan ideas that that stayed because it's already part of a series.
right
But
from
it is
the
funky.
beginning.
It's a funky piece of his metaphysics.
I think they would know because they live in a place that would let them see and know. If you catch my drift.
No, I do. Yeah, I mean,
So that's how they think they would be
conceptualizing
aware.
like they're aware. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm
But that's
I'm
also
reminding
presuming,
myself like
that's also presuming too that even though we know that the heroes of the horn have autonomy and they can say no to the horn sounder, that I'm defeating my own argument here by saying like, oh, the banner means that they now have to follow them instead of the horn sounder, but they have the autonomy to choose whether they're going to follow the horn sounder or not.
yeah.
So maybe it is just a symbol. I still love the idea.
This week on
It's
Andrew
not a
argues
loss
with
if you
himself.
defeat your own argument.
That's true.
It's true. You don't have to do it by yourself, but no, maybe it's more so that I just love the idea that the same Aes Sedai that created a pool of untainted Sidene. We talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
I think it was with you. Maybe not. No, I was talking to somebody else. That they created the Eye of the World for the purpose of, okay, well, whoever comes after us and doesn't do the half job of sealing away the big bad guy, he's probably going to need the thing that doesn't have, I don't know, the taint of the big bad guy on it to use for that, which I think was actually their purpose for it, not just so we could have the, for most people at least, confusing ending of book 1. Oh, I loved it. I didn't have a problem following it. Not saying I'm better or anything. I might just be like dumb. So who knows? I loved it. But I think it was the same people that made the banner. They were like, you know what? We're going to give deference to the dragon because he's make or break. And I will take a semi-mortal wound on that hill. I won't die on it.
Semi-mortal.
Semi-mortal.
I'll leave my blood on the rocks of that
I'll be in a coma for about 2 months on that hill.
Isn't
Right?
semi-mortal like mortal
It's like semi-perfect.
or imperfect?
Yeah. Something like
For
that.
those of you that have watched the Dragon Ball Z Abridged parody, you know what I mean. What are you getting at? You're the semi-perfect, or you're not me.
So the I'm trying to again. I don't think this mess ruins anything. Yeah, there was Jordan conceptualized the idea of 7 pools, and then he decided to only do 1 pool. And I think it was more about the seal.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's so interesting to see how he kind of just, again, I think we got stuff in book 1 that was almost kind of just left over from some ideas that he had, and that it was like, oh yeah, and this horn thing that it doesn't really like. How would the horn be a thing based on the metaphysic decisions I make later on? But it exists now, and so it definitely exists because it's part of my world.
Well, and then you start asking the question: is it one of those things that is a permanence in the pattern, or is it destroyed and recreated at some point in
Yes, I mean, I have to again not trying to. I would say it would have to be destroyed and
time?
recreated.
Destroyed and recreated.
Yes.
That I think that would make.
Is this also part of the show?
Welcome,
what's that
welcome
notification?
to BTB
Banned
After
forever
Dark.
from YouTube.
Damn it! Too sexy, Wolf.
I don't know, maybe
Too sexy.
You did. No, I don't know. I know there's.
Which is why we got banned, because we've never had that many likes,
Yeah.
and so now
they were like, "Oh,
You
it must have all
flagged
been
us.
bots." We bought all of our followers, so we must have bought all of our likes.
That's right. That's right.
I don't know. I think there was definitely a lot that Robert Jordan did in book one that clearly just never happened again. It was just him filling out, or it got kind of retconned later on, or fully retconned later on. Maybe I'm just like a book one.
Chords.
I just said coins, and I was like,
No, chords. Yeah,
Um,
no coins after book one. That was
yeah. They got rid of coins. They
and
switched
there's
over
credit
to
cards.
they switched over to fiat currency.
That's right.
And the stock market crashed to Tarvalon. So, yeah, after Matt won all the money, he single-handedly brought down the Tarvalon economy.
Damn.
But
Well
maybe
done,
it's just
sir.
a game I like to play, trying to make as much from book one fit with the rest of the world. It's like a really messed up game of like the round peg goes in the square.
Well, it's like in chapter 9, the way that Rand interacts with Tel'aran'rhiod in chapter 9 of book 1. It's just like breaks kind of like later things Jordan decides.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of fun and unique because it's like this thing that it's like the 9th chapter of the first book of this 14-book series. And things became more clear later, but I just like how soft magic a lot of book 1 is. And it makes us all kind of have to twist ourselves into pretzels trying to figure out like, how does this work 4 books later?
Was this Wheel of Time or was this Wheel of Time? I mean, it's great because whenever he wrote book 1, he was hoping for more, but he didn't know if it was actually going to be picked up and be successful.
Sure.
And then then he was like, "I'll do like 4 books," and then he was like, "I actually kind of need 6 books," which I love. Which is why when you get to like book 6, it feels almost like you're kind of moving into like a new part of the story because everything kind of built to a climax, one of the greatest climaxes I've ever had seen in my life.
Red.
Red, yeah. Or listen to if you.
Yes.
But
audiobooks.
yeah, I mean, it's absolutely true. There's plenty to retcon in book 1. I just would like to make as much of it work as I can.
Oh, I know. No, I prefer
Just
to do
'cause
the
it's
same.
fun.
That's why to me it has to be destroyed. Like that's how I make it work. Oh,
It's the harder option to do, right?
I would say though, going back to the horn, if we're gonna operate on the premise that the horn is destroyed at some point in time in the pattern and recreated, that it would be very logical to say that the dragon banner itself would kind of be a Tirangrial, because whoever created the horn, whoever said, it'd be a great idea, heroes called back from the dead to help fight with the forces of the light. But we have to make sure that only someone who is trusted and beloved of the people would have the ability to command these people directly.
But this is a Jordan. Like, how did that even come about? Like,
right, like
it's like when the
exactly.
portal stones are made by those who know the numbers of chaos. And you're like, who are those people?
Who are them? Wait, what age are they in?
Well, clearly they were the people that knew the numbers of chaos.
But that suggests that they were made like in the first age, and you're like, okay, how
We're
did
in the
they?
first stage,
But how did they plug that into the like? Yeah, it's.
Yeah, please say it again into the microphone.
say it again into the mic.
Wheel of Time in the Age of Legends is science, not science fiction.
And apology for the people listening on their
It
headphones.
definitely sounds like something that a certain country we may or may not be in right now would do if we ever discovered magic. Like, how can we immediately like make absolute chaos? and make it numbers and just go all the places.
Make portal stones. That's right. Yeah.
First use of the portal stones was definitely drone strikes.
I've got
On
you
another-
now.
You're
I'll
saying
make
testing on
portal
Mirror Worlds?
stone.
Yeah, because we get around all of the environmental concerns. If it's not our environment, we are destroying.
Hey,
It's not our
Portal,
ozone.
portal
therefore it's
stones
not
was
our
a
problem.
testing, was a weapons testing mechanism. I actually kind of
We actually
like
changed.
that.
We got rid of the Nevada proving grounds and moved over to the portal.
You're just like, this world isn't really very valid. Let's go try some weapons
You
there.
know, but
which
look at that one. It's just covered in scorch marks.
there's like
and
some
no light.
dark
It's fun.
Tony Stark thing going on there. Like
Absolutely doesn't
Okay.
make any sense, but I now love the idea that the scorch
maybe it was
marks,
AI when they said that those are the numbers of chaos. Maybe they're talking about like AI
Ooh,
created
Skynet.
the,
Chat GTB created the portal stone.
that's what it was.
ChatGPT.
So
ChatGPT.
this is now my canon. So the world that ran, literally a canon. The world that ran meets Celine in is the testing world. And all the scorch marks are just Lockheed Martin Skunk Works doing their thing.
It shows that there's like a flying, what
Yeah.
sounds like an airplane flying
Yeah.
over.
It's just
Wow, now
Lockheed
I kind
Skunk
of wonder.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
okay.
just Skunk Works being like, what can we do with this fancy new laser beam?
Do you- and
Meanwhile,
remember,
Shaitan sitting there being like, I win again. It's like
Oh
they
my
did
gosh.
nothing. That was all Skunk Works.
Shaitan is Tony Stark.
yes, or no.
It
Either
is
way, we're
Mr.
screwed.
Lockheed Martin.
So
Lockheed
there's actually a
Howard,
current
Howard.
theory that kind of fits with this right now. Everybody's familiar with the Mandela effect, right? Where you swear something happened the way it did, and it kazam. Beautiful example.
Berenstain Bears.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So everybody knows an example of a Mandela effect, and there's a theory that we're not actually experiencing a Mandela effect. It's that we're being popped into different timelines in which those things are different.
The Large Hadron Collider.
Because the Large Hadron Collider
every
is
time it fires up, we
collapsing.
get flung into
is-
some of us get flung into
So
another.
now we understand this is happening. In 100 years, someone says portal stone.
So the portal stone is a large hadron collider. Like
Or at
it's
least
like
we're-
in
it's
a
a
like
mini
in a
hadron collider.
yeah, like what I'm saying. It's like in a box.
Yeah.
basically.
Hadron Collider
In a box.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Get it right now
I'm
at
triggered.
BeSmarter.com.
You're just like pressing some buttons. The
Right?
collider begins, and you get shifted.
And then you're just somewhere, and
I'm
happens?
liking this idea that AI created colliders in boxes that people engage to shift to different variations of the world to
That's
test
actually what happened.
weapons.
So there's the theory that each age people progress and then regress, right?
Okay.
So you have the Age of Legends, then there's a regression, and then they grow and learn. So age one
this age.
is a regression,
Yes.
Known as the first age by some.
the first age by some, because age 2 is a progression. And so, no, portal stones were not of the age 1, they were age 7.
Interesting.
Okay.
They were from
Okay.
the previous age.
I just like the idea.
So
that
there's portal
the
stones
Chat
on Earth
GTP
somewhere right now.
Right, but we're too stupid to understand them.
All of those metal
like it.
obelisks that keep popping up around the world are just portal stones.
Okay, by
Ma'am, we figured it out.
By the way, I have to run and sing the end of this song because it's hardcore country for life.
You do. You have to.
But
go.
I just want to say thank you very much for having me on the
Thank you
show.
for coming.
I'm just
Wait,
thinking-
did they stop singing? No.
No, they're gone.
Okay, they're still going. There's still a little bit of the song.
Yeah,
Okay.
don't miss it.
Thank you very much, everyone. That was an amazing AI collider theory is my favorite. Thank you so much. Man.
Yes. I just want to point out that we have a favorite theory for the guy who invented Theoryland.
And apparently, you saying that triggered Siri, so it's noteworthy.
That's AI
Siri's
for
like,
you.
what you talking about, Willis? No, so but I like where you're going with this, Wolfie, because we've got documentation in the books of the first age, the second age, the third age, and the fourth age, right? So we're in the first stage, right? The first stage ends with the discovery of channeling, right? The second age, comes around. It's the age of legends. It's everything's great. Then we have the breaking, which transitions into the third age. Then we have the third age is where the books take place. Then we have the fourth age, which is the end of the books and the ushering into the new things that are happening. We don't know what that is. We've got ages 5, 6, and 7
Unexplored.
that are entirely unexplored. And when you take into account that each age is several thousand years, there's anything is possible. Anything is possible.
So,
Well, it could also change.
I mean,
Which you mean the ale fin and the eel fin?
so who's to say pyramids and these things of wonder are not from the seventh age?
I mean, no one is. I mean, they're honestly like.
So
Well, yeah, there's also I was just watching. There's another pyramid that they also found that it's covered in concrete that they say is 3 times better than modern concrete. And then you still have the Roman concrete recipe that we haven't been able to replicate. That's self-healing. Surprise, because they leave part of it uncured, so when it gets wet, it just cures itself again and fills in the gaps. But we somehow can't figure out how to do that yet. Apparently. I would imagine by now they've gotten it down.
yeah, say that again for our virtual listeners.
Oh, we
That
finally
the
figured
Roman
it out?
concrete?
Sweet. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. So when the parts above it crack and now water can access the uncured parts, it recures and repairs. I can believe it. It like self heals the same way
Damn.
run flat like self heals. It
Yo,
just,
I'm learning some new stuff tonight.
but it's cool stuff. I mean,
mean-
you got modern like chemists, geologists, and I don't know, concreteologists. I don't know. They're like we're working for years on figuring out how did the Romans do this, and replicating it with modern technology is one thing, and trying to replicate it with Roman technology is potentially another thing, because we can make finite exact measurements now to make things work perfect. So you never know how much is left over.
So fun story. You talk about that, and I'm actually really in love with this idea.
That's awesome. I didn't know
because-
they made a sample. That's awesome. I believe
N- n- Sample not confirmed. Sample suspected.
Please, Sarah, confirm your sample.
It's not that kind of show, sir.
You don't know
This
what
video has been flagged yet again. No. So I did a tour in Egypt years ago. Well, not years ago, like last year before. And one of the things we did is we went into the Egyptian museum, and they were talking about all the different things that they could do, and all the different carvings and stuff. And one of the really interesting things that they kept talking about was how smoothly they were able to carve these flat surfaces. And the guy giving us the tour, Arafa, the Egyptian dude, very, very cool. And he kept being like, what do you think? How do you think they did it? And everybody's like, I don't know. And he would explain. He would say, look, no, this stuff is flat. It's like several microns of variation and blah, blah, blah. He said, we only barely learned how to measure these things recently.
We're talking about those like Blackstone sarcophagus or
That's
sarcophagi
one
that
of
they
them.
made.
Yeah, that's one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, the popular ones. They're like, this is like machine
Yeah.
level precise.
And he was saying, how do you think they did it? And and of course everybody, aliens. And he was laughing, and he was saying, I can tell you, it probably wasn't aliens. What's more likely is that there was a technology or a technique that they knew that we don't. It's just lost to time. And I thought about that at first. I was like, that's kind of a funky idea. But there's something that we are all familiar with that could very well be a lost technology within our lifetimes: the development of camera film. There are only a handful of companies that still make camera film, and most of those are for hipsters who
Looking at you,
Take-
Kodak.
yeah. So, but that's the thing. My kids will probably never see camera film.
I mean, already, like for the most part, the current generation. God, I feel like my parents.
This is the young guy saying it.
Yeah, you're young at like 30, going on 87.
Man.
I have seen people being handed a floppy disk, and they're like, "Oh, cool! You 3D printed the save icon." And it was at that moment that I knew I was in the group that's just getting old. Like,
Are you ready for this? I got another one for you.
I don't think.
There you go. Make a hand gesture like you're answering a phone, like with your hand.
Oh yeah,
Just-
we do this.
we
like,
do
pick
this.
up, and they
You
go,
know what kids do?
Oh, they don't even tap anymore.
No, they don't even tap. They just go,
Oh.
because what is it? They don't know what this is. They say, "What's this?"
The one that got me was the hang up the phone. So we would do that, and they're just like,
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not satisfying at all.
You know what? The worst thing to ever happen to cell phones was getting rid of the flip phones. I'm so glad that Samsung brought it back, because there's nothing more satisfying than flipping that phone closed to slam hang up a phone call.
Rapunzel's absolutely right. The future. You know, I made fun of two guys at my work for still having landlines that they never use, and now I feel like I want to call and get a landline just so I can give that as my number, just so I can.
Oh, it's
and I want to
great.
give it to every telemarketer I can,
Look.
just so I can be like, piss off.
Look, I walked in, cell phones in the early 2000s and the 90s were notoriously scammy. And at one point in time, they said, "Yeah, we'll give you a third line for $5 a month, whatever." I was like, "Sweet, hell yeah, let's
And the
do
very
that."
fine print was like only for
And
3
then
months.
I left that cell phone on the counter, plugged in to charge the battery, and I put that phone number on every single sweepstakes I entered. It
like my
didn't matter. And that phone rang nonstop.
do you remember the Samsung Clam? It was a little blue flip phone, really tiny, had a camera on it, had the regular T9 keyboard on it. Well, T9 texting was a revolution when texting, like after texting came out, where it would do like the predictive, like just hit the right numbers and it'll figure out the word for you. My grandma had that, and it sat plugged in on the kitchen table, and I swear this woman left it on vibrate and would look at it vibrate and go back to reading the paper.
Love it.
No hands barred, but her home ringer was so loud you could not ignore it. So if you wanted to get her, like that's how she knew if somebody that knew her was calling her, because the home phone would ring before the mobile phone. Now, if the home phone rang and she didn't answer it, and then immediately after the mobile phone rang, she would answer it. But
So
not the other way.
another fun fact about landlines that a lot of people don't know: if your power goes out, your phone will still work. A landline will still work because it does have a powered line, and it is on a different grid. Okay, we do have a question in the chat. So actually get back to it. Jordan, our good friend Jordan, go check out.
our topic left when Matt left.
It's true, but hey, that was a
Matt
good
was here. We were like,
conversation.
oh, we got to be semi-professional and think of a topic.
Are there
portable
any
liquor.
objects in the story you could theorize are future advanced versions of our current technology? Oh, that's a good. Rapunzel says the Kindle Tirangreal that Elaine tosses away.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
so true. That's so true. Which is which also Light Blinded Fool said at the
That's
same
the
time.
library turn girl that Avienda gets.
Yeah,
It's just a fully loaded Kindle with only like
maybe the
0.1 gigs of space left on it.
yeah.
That's it. Which, if you're a big anime fan, if you've watched No Game No Life, so you should watch it if you haven't. Well, I'm not
I
gonna say you
shall.
should because there's parts of it that are really weird. It's Japanese anime. There's gonna be weird parts, but if we can get past all that, there's a part where they play a game, and what they put up as their prize that they lose to this being that owns a massive library. Because the whole premise is in the world you play games to settle disputes. If you win the game, you're great. These people get brought in from another world. They've never lost the game. They continue that trend here. The prize they put up in a game, because you have to put up a prize of equal value that the other agrees to, is literally a Kindle full of books from Japan. Now they're in a different world. They don't know how to read this stuff, and the person's like, "I love it," because they love knowledge. So that kind of stuff. But honest answer, or I think maybe the keeper's staff is like a kind of secret girl that can like unlock things, like certain depositories that are supposed to be secret, and it's like a more advanced version of like HID readers, or the card passive card readers,
Okay.
NFC communications, tap and pay as you may do with your card.
Okay.
Maybe.
I can feel. Also, it feels like it would be a little bit over the top too, because where we have a card to unlock our hotel room or something along those lines, it would be something that got. There's always the idea that we found this thing from 1,000 years ago, and it always has religious significance, right?
Oh, yeah.
This is a temple. To
We
the
hold the
gods.
holy
They
staff.
would gather here to worship. It was always like really overinflated.
I went far
And if we
down
could
in
go
this
back in
penis-shaped white tower and unlocked this room in the
If-
bowels.
If we could go back in time, it'd just be people being like, "That's a toilet." That's true.
I'll run
Okay.
out and do that right now.
Fireworks. Oh shit.
I'll be right.
And Andrew's. Oh, they're trying to milk you for more, boy. No, so fireworks. That's a great one. So fireworks is an instance of a technology that exists in much the same way in the books that it does in our current time. Yes. Right. Steam power. We have a trackless train at some point in time, which I'm glad our first time reader left, so I could say that. Well, but not everybody has access to the power, and you got to think, what's the eventually, yeah, eventually there will have to be a purge of channeling and channelers. I mean, I don't know if the fourth age we start to see that because they've been gentling men for the last 3,000 years. They already say they're culling that out of the human race. Is it too late? Are we already on a downward spiral that we can't get away from? Yeah, I was about to say, make sure you got the mic.
The thing,
I've been talking to a dead mic this whole time.
So-
I apologize for those.
the thing to remember though is that not everyone participated in the last battle. Most people stayed home. Even in Randland, most people were at home,
Yeah.
and the rest of the planet is still populated and in ruins, but populated.
That's true.
What? But populated.
Still
And-
populated.
And the thing is that in those lands, they weren't culling the males.
That's a good point.
In
That's a good point.
Randland, they were culling the males, but the rest of the world, they
Well,
weren't.
in Shara they were, because they would allow a man. But
That's
however,
not
they would
culling,
allow
that
them
was
to
using
breed.
them as
Yeah.
livestock. Whoa. Whoa. We have a development
I need
here,
to.
ladies
I need
and
to
gentlemen.
close out a tab, aka
This is
last
not how
call.
closing out a tab works.
You know what? That one was broken when I sat in it. Yeah.
Say it again into the mic, please.
At some point, channeling has to go. The one power has to disappear. We have to lose access to it. But which age does that happen in? Right.
I think it happens in the fourth age.
That's too soon, though, isn't it?
I don't think it is. I mean, I think it happens into the fourth. I think it's what ends the fourth age. Because I did this not last year's Wotcon, but the year before. One of the panels I actually got to make before I was sick. My idea
You're doing
is
great,
that
by the way.
so far,
This
don't jinx
Wotcon,
it.
we're not jinxing it. We're
I've actually
knocking
been
on
downstairs
wood.
the entire day.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
like this is amazing. This is the
Um,
most we've seen Andrew in a con in 4 years.
Yeah. Hey, true. I think the fourth age ends in essentially like nuclear winter. Because we've already got gunpowder, we've already got cannons, we've got several thousand years to go. Presumably, with the fourth age, I think it's not outside the realm of feasibility. They get there, get into a fight, things happen, and pretty much the entire world is lost and regress back to a stone age, and nobody knows how to channel anymore. That's my thought.
I mean, that's got to happen.
And when I
eventually.
said that in the panel with Maria, she didn't immediately go, "That's dumb." So I'm taking it as a win. Not that I'm right. I may not be right.
It was not
but-
immediately rejected.
So we have already the idea that in the first stage we have basically the U.S. and Russia in nuclear war that ends up in us eventually finding the one power, right?
Yeah.
What if in the fourth age it's not a nuclear war, but it is a war of the power that ends up with the power basically burning itself out of society because everyone kills each other off?
Well, okay. So what's one of the things we've learned about the power is the power has this ability to transcend all that should or could not be possible. Like, one of the critiques that we offer for the show is that there's a lot of times where the power is used and it doesn't appear to have a rhyme or reason, right? It doesn't appear to understand. And even in the books, we don't really understand what they're using the power for. It's really strange to take fire, water, earth, air, and spirit and
Well, they forgot
compulse
heart.
someone
If somebody could
to do
discover
it something.
if somebody could discover the weave of hearts, they could summon Captain Planet. We'd all
Bam.
be saved. Done.
But here's the thing: with the power, if you've got, you've got an example in the story of someone attacking the Dark One, literally in putting it in our own modern day. I'm going to go to hell and kill the devil.
That's just the plot of Dante's Inferno.
I mean,
Really
so-
cool game. Really cool story. Even better game. Fucking great game.
So the thing with that though is we know the power's capable of ridiculously complicated and large undertakings. So it seems very likely that there could possibly be an instance in which the power is used to burn the power out of humanity for however long, and then 300 years later it's available again, but we don't know about it. We have to rediscover it.
Plus, at the beginning of the fourth age, there is a new power that lights pipes.
You son of a bitch.
Rapunzel in our chat actually just said, what if the source can be used up? And that's why some ages don't have it. And we just have to wait for it to recharge or to be replenished before it can be accessed again.
I could see it being used to the point where it's so weak that it's not really there or present because it's designed as an infinite source.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, we're live streaming, but you can do what you need.
And
we're-
don't worry, Joe,
we're
I
guests
only
in your room.
flipped all of your switches over here,
Yeah,
so
no.
you're good. I did. I just pushed
Actually
all the
did.
buttons.
You know, he couldn't figure out why it wasn't. What's this? That's Howard's.
Yeah, have. For those of you who don't know, we got Joe. Joe just graced
that's really
us
good.
here
Wave hi, Joe. Say hi, Joe. Love it. Love it.
So,
Yeah, hit
so
us.
we talked about already the pool, the eye of the world. What if that was a power that the Aes Sedai put in that pool because they knew that at some point it was going to be gone, but they didn't know when the dragon was going to come back, and he would need some power to start everything over again. So maybe that's why that pool was sitting there. It's a battery.
Yeah.
I
It was
like it.
untainted. It was a battery.
That definitely would and this goes back to what we were talking about with Matt. Like their book one things that just don't really line up. If the Aes Sedai of that age understood that there were times in which the power was not available, that's a really great point.
So with the Fourth Age Armageddon theory, the only access key for the Chosen Call that we see destroyed, if I remember right, is. But there was a okay,
No,
but there was a duplicate of one.
We see two
They talk of
destroyed in the books.
okay, but there was one of them had two access keys. So they talked about how I think Lanfear had found
Yes.
another one
Yeah.
for the female one. Was the actual female Chosen Call destroyed as well?
Yeah, melted
Yes.
on
So
some
both
Malkin.
actual ones were destroyed.
Yeah.
Well, I had a cool idea. So, if anybody ever wants to retcon part of the story and have the statue still there, that could be how the Fourth Age ends. They just nuke it with that.
There you go. Nuke it. Kill it with fire.
There goes Robert Jordan and Brandon Sanderson destroying
Blood so
my
sweet.
great ideas.
Split the bone,
Reference
suck
the
the
idea of
marrow.
like running out of the
Dripping
power
flesh.
though. Doesn't the
Blood,
power also
blood so red.
power the wheel itself?
Yes.
And therefore, if we ran out of power, essentially the wheel would stop, which would break the wheel, which would mean the
Well,
Dark One won.
We could go with the theory of balance, right? If you have ages that have heavy, massive use of the power, then by balance theory, you would have ages that have minimal to no use of the power, and that could be how the one power winds up being like deemed infinite, because during the low use, it does get that chance to recharge and refortify itself from being so heavily drawn on. Maybe it might work. It might not work. I just say words.
You know what? I'm actually really happy with how this episode has gone.
Mhm.
It has been super amazing. It has been super great. It was great having the innkeeper here to go over some theory. You know what? I'm adding giving Matt one of his favorite theories to my list of Wheel of Time adventure highlights. Up there with talking to Guy Roberts, talking to Kate Fleetwood, like that.
Though
That
there's no
right there,
audio
like
proof of the first one.
I love Matt. You know, he's a great guy. But the fact that the very dude who founded Theoryland, we brought up a theory tonight that he loves and is one of his favorites. Just when you think a guy like that who's been doing it for 30 years has heard it all. No, he hasn't. New theory presented tonight to Matt. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that.
Hair in my mouth.
I want to say thank you to you guys for being here tonight. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks to everybody in the live chat. Oh my God, we've had some amazing conversation going on there. Once again, I implore you to go check out Jordan Reynolds' Kickstarter. We're going to post that all over our Discord. So it'll be in our Discord if it's not already. If you're not in our Discord, why not?
Should do it. And if you want to join, go over to blacktowerpod.com. It's our one-stop shop for everything Black Tower Podcast. It's got the Discord, the Patreon, the Spreadshirt, the New Creations by Jen, all of our shops, all that kind of stuff. It's got forums that have been surprisingly nudity-free since More Shoddy ran through naked.
Right, more Shoddy ran through naked, and then everybody was like,
Yeah.
"Oh."
Everybody was like, it's sticky. Ew." Not yet. That was actually one kind of like affiliate thing that I was looking at because it would be hilarious, and I got super confused by their stuff, and I'm like, just gonna let this one kind of be forgotten.
Anyway, thanks so much for being here. You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. We're having the best time at Wotcon. Oh, stop it.
No,
Stop
you-
it.
You're
Stop
breathtaking.
it.
No, you're breath.
We're having the best time ever. In the words of Patrick Swayze, I had the time of my life.
It's a wheel of time.
Never felt this way before. Yes, I swear it's the truth. And now it all to you. You guys are great. Thanks so much for being here. We're gonna close out.
I
And
feel
we're
like
gonna
that's the Forsakens
run
singing
out.
the Shy-Tune.
We're gonna run out and see if there's any alcohol left that we can get drunk on.
I don't think there is. They
There's
closed.
probably not. But you know, we're
That's why I
gonna
got
we're gonna
another
do our best anyway. So everybody, wave goodbye. Thank you so much. You guys are the best. And
awesome.
wherever you are, I hope you leave here just a little bit more insane than you were when you first got here.